have.
Happy Monday, everybody. This is your favorite crypto trading show, Crypto and Coffee with the Trading Bros. Hey, we had a nice little pump up this over the weekend. We came back, touched the Friday close right after markets opened last night. So we got CPI coming out this week, so we'll find out what day that's happening. And do we think we're going to have any significant price movements between now and then? Let's take a look and get an idea at what we're looking at for the rest of the week. B. Wellington, take us to the charts, bro. Oh, you're already on there as always. What do you got, man? Give us something good. To give the people what they need to hear.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna give the people what they need, but I'm gonna give them
No, hey, look, there's a
everything.
fine difference between need and want. We're real here, man.
Look,
We don't give you no
I'm giving them
bullshit.
everything I got. Give them everything I got. So look, we've got. I mean, we did our pump, and we've been holding and ranging within this area. I mean, we've got a lot of news that's coming out. We've got the merge. We've got CPI data. We've got the Fed in a couple, weeks. We got energy crisis in the UK, all which can affect pricing. But we're on ETH. We're always looking at this chart. This is a box that I drew last week in anticipation that we take this candle out, which we haven't taken the fully candle out. We've only taken about half of it, and we've stalled. But this is the daily. As you can see, we've kind of moved up into this area. We're a little overbought, at this particular point in time. And so, I would imagine, of course, is on the daily. We've got RSI up top. We've got some extension relative to the EMAs. We've got volume that's declining. Of course, this is on the daily. And so it may take for us a little time for us to get the effects of that. But just from an overall perspective, declining volume, RSIs at top levels, you got on balance volume at top levels, and we are at 5 positive candles, or moving into 5 positive candles for the week. So I would imagine that we're going to have a down day at some point. We'll just see if it's today. If we hop onto the hourly, kind of looking at some of those same type of metrics again, we've got a hold of volume, but really some declining volume. We've got RSIs up top, on balance volumes up top. We've extended both these EMAs, so we're starting to extend, but we haven't gone anywhere. So we've had a lot of these vector candles here. I mean, we got one right here, one right here. We've had another right here. But we really haven't moved up in price. We have another right here that was really a trap that brought everything back down. And so we haven't moved out of this zone just yet. I'm still leaving this box up here because this does represent, kind of where that rest of that vector candle ends. But so we haven't taken up that entire vector candle, but it just seems like we're stalling out, which may be an accumulation to move up further. We'll see. But we're sitting here on the 50 on the 1 hour. I have to kind of see where we go from there. But I will tell you that probably our points of control is going to be back down here into this 1600s area relative to the point of control of the entire chart. We also have this kind of this breakout. If you can see, we had a vector candle that broke out from this range. We generally come back and touch those ranges again, which is again about that 1645 area to come back to in order to retest this area before either moving back up or totally catering back down to the downside. So we'll see. I personally think we've got a down day, in store. I'm also reading a lot about how this is setting up to be the perfect short squeeze, which I don't see. Some of our charts say short squeeze, some of our charts don't. If you look at OI, which we look at, it's 5.7 billion. So we have grown. I mean, it was a little bit more yesterday, but a little bit less, a little bit more than last week, right? We were at like 5.5. So we're steadily growing the open interest. As you can see, as we move down this area, OI is moving down along with it, which would indicate that we got some liquidations that's going on from our end. Funding rate, which we haven't looked at in a while. You've got the majority of your funding right
I'm going
here.
long all day, baby.
Yeah, but I will tell you that with all of this going on, if you look at some of the shorter stuff on, I did take a peek on high block. I mean, we might want to talk about that too, but I'll let you cover that. Again, we've got this is kind of our Binance larger exchange that's out there. We got POC at the 1632 area. We don't really have a lot of activity on the OI. Of course, is the hourly. We've got spot that's continuing to move up. So it's been moving up for a while. So we may see a pullback there. This is an average directional index, which is just basically a trend indicator as well. So this has actually been going down as prices remain steady. So that's something to look at. And again, looking at on balance volume, on balance volume is up historically as well, which would indicate that we need to blow off some steam, maybe get a little bit of a pullback. Stock wise, it's 8:26, so we're not quite open yet, but we've got futures. Futures are somewhat flat. We've got 89.21.55 for the Dow Jones, S&P, and Nasdaq respectively. So we'll have to kind of see how we go there. Then the economic calendar, we've kind of talked about this. Tomorrow we've got big news. So really, we may not get a lot of huge movement until tomorrow when the core CPI comes out for the month. And then a couple days after that on Thursday, we've got retail sales, we've got initial job claims, manufacturing index, consumer sentiment coming up on Friday. And then the week after that, we've got, Federal Reserve, that meeting happening on the 21st. So we've got a lot, and again, like we mentioned, we've got a lot of news coming. We've got the merge that's coming out as well this week with Ethereum, which is specific to our coin. There's a lot of good stuff coming out to help to get some volatility.
So with that second leg that they're starting to talk about, I think that's interesting because this is stuff that we saw coming from months ago.
Absolutely.
I mean, us retesting that $800 range for ETH before the end of the year, I think is definitely out there on the table. But let's take a look and see what we got going on High Block real quick, and then oh man, I got all kinds of shit on here. But here we go. So here's High Block Capital, folks, and as you can see it, I mean, we're pretty heavily weighted on the long side right now, 12 billion in liquidation delta. But we got room to go even higher. I think that might be the case. However, there is a $205 million long liquidation that's sitting out there at 1710, which kind of starts breaking us down into that area B. Wellington was talking about. But, we know we can speculate and come up with a couple of really good hypothetical guesses right now, and one being that the Fed is probably going to increase rates again. We are getting to the top of the cycle where we're going to start that second leg down. So I think what we're probably going to see is some movement to the upside today, just to really start getting more people on board for a pump, because I think we're going to see some negative impact from when the Fed comes out with their news. But that's just speculation at this point. But I agree. I think we got a little bit more room to go to the upside because I don't think they're quite where they want to get, and we haven't had a really violent move to really squeeze shorts since this big move up. And I don't think nothing like too brutal where people just flat out don't have an opportunity to get out of a trade. Those kind of moves, like a sharp, like let's go, and just till everyone's liquidated. If you have been trading for longer than 3 or 4 months, you probably know what I'm talking about, because I'm sure someone's gotten a situation like that at some point in time. I've been there a few times. However, let's jump over here to Bookmap. This is what we really want to see. We want to see where the order flow is, where the order books are, and the long-term liquidity right now. So I'm zooming out here. B. Wellington, can you see this? It's probably loading.
It's still loading a little bit.
Yeah, so just give it a minute.
It's gradually starting to hit.
Yeah. It didn't like it when you move it from screen to screen. Okay, so as you can see, we got long-term liquidity that's forming in the close area, 1740, 1760. But we have a bunch of long-term liquidity down here at 1710 and 1800, and we are seeing some more momentum down to the downside. So 1740 I think is definitely in play. And so when we get down to 1740, we're going to want to pay attention if we get a bounce there or if we get some continuation down. We're also just bouncing right around the VWAP. So, um, oh man, look at this price action that's going on right here, right now, as we're literally watching it unfold. This is going to be a very fun day. But normally, when you see things get really heavy up and down, we may also just see some ranging for today. Me personally, I'm bullish up to about 1820, 1830 for the day. And so that's where I'm going to be placing my bets on the long side today. So looks like we got a split day today.
Yeah, I mean, look, we there's still some room to the upside. You've got daily open at 1762 as well. You've got a lot of negative funding rate. All of these things are very indicative of us moving up. But I just think we haven't gone up thus far. I mean, we've had this negative rate the entire weekend. Really, if I've been taking a looking at it, and it's really just been ranging into it. OIs really hasn't been impacted, too much relative to that. And we also have to understand that some of this negative funding rate can also be hedging, as well. But in looking at high block and some of the things we're doing, it really looks like some folks, as well as we've got the merge. So you've got a lot of people that are getting on board with the spot because of the merge. We just had the open, so we are pumping a little bit, which would tell me that we might be coming down later if we're pumping this early, especially at the open of the market. But we'll see. So we've got on the one. I say that it's on the 1 minute. I'm looking at the 1 minute at this point in time. But starting to develop a little bit of momentum to the upside. But we'll see. I mean, we've hit the 50 on. If we're talking about like the 1 hour, it would make sense for us to get back up into the range of that 1766 or some of the peaks that are up there to bring back down. We've got some imbalance in the chart in that area as well. So we do have a case for going up. We've got a case for going down. We'll have to look to see how it plays out. My only deal is we've had an opportunity to go up, and normally it likes to go up over the weekend and take out retail, and they hadn't done that. And so it'll be very interesting to see what happens at the end of the day.
I'm gonna be talking shit all day long.
You're going to be talking shit if
Oh
it's
yeah.
moving in your
Oh.
direction.
Nah. Right. Well, we'll see what happens, guys. We will do a recap of today's show tomorrow morning to see who the winner was. Until next time, which will be back tomorrow, same time, same place.